everyone, this is Mr. G back with another educational video. This time we're going to be talking about the quiz that you have to fill out for this week. Now this quiz is going to show up in the general feed here. It hasn't been posted yet because I'm recording the video before I post the quiz, and it'll look very similar to this technology survey here. So if you click on this and you filled out the technology survey, this will be very similar. So this is our week 0 quiz. So this is a preview for the quiz, and these are the same questions that you're going to see. The reason we're doing these quizzes is I want to see what you know. I want you to be able to see what you know, as well as this is a way for me to keep up with attendance and get an idea of how people are doing. The marks for this are not for correctness, it's just for completion. So similar to our quizzes, I'm not really counting them for marks based on how many you got right. I just want to make sure that you're filling these out consistently. There's not really any point cheating as a result. If you just answer all the questions randomly, it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, you get your marks or whatever. That's not really the point here. Looking at this quiz, we can see there's 10 questions. Yes, there's a lot of questions, but most of these questions shouldn't take you too long to answer, especially if you've been paying attention to the first video. So if I try and submit it right away where I haven't filled out these ones with the red stars, there's a bunch of the red stars. If I hit submit, it's gonna give me all these question is required, question is required. All right, fair enough. Let's get rid of that red stuff. So first question, how comfortable are you feeling? For me, probably somewhat comfortable. Another thing I wanted to show you about these, if you click on this is the Immersive Reader. So if we click on this, it'll take you to a new page. And if you hit this play button at the bottom,
how comfortable do you feel with Microsoft Teams right now?
It'll read it for you. So if that's something that helps you go through these questions, feel free to use that feature. So how many different channels are there in our class team? You can take a look. 5, 3. How many students do I teach in total from all my classes? I mentioned this in the first video. Let's say 150. If I make a mistake or typo in one of the team's channels, can I delete or edit the post to fix it? Yeah, that seems reasonable. We're gonna hit true. And then which of the channels can you, as a student, post in? Check all that apply. So, I mean, the general one seems reasonable. These ones probably can't post in these optional ones. Now, I'm not gonna go through the other ones. I'm just gonna skip ahead. All right, on to these last 2 questions because they're a little bit different. So this first one here is I want you to tell me in a few sentences how you've been doing over the last week. I'm gonna put this on every single one of my quizzes because I do wanna check in with students, see how you're doing. Are you having problems? Tell me your successes, tell me your struggles. I wanna check in with you because this is something I would do with my students in class. So again, 2 to 3 sentences minimum here. I'm gonna share my thoughts right now. So the way I'm feeling right now, a little overwhelmed with all the new things happening. I hope I can figure out how best to use this platform to help students. I have been working on video editing for this video and setting expectations for the classroom, but I'm having a lot of trouble figuring out how the best way to do this. Wherever you're at, there's no right or wrong answers here, but it is mandatory. I would like to see 2 or 3 sentences. If you don't, I will probably send you an email, CC the counselor, and ask you to give us an update. The last thing, and I'll include these on most of the quizzes, is I might put some optional challenge questions. Notice no red star here. These are not mandatory. These are going to be more challenging questions designed for students who like a little bit of an extra challenge related to math. This one's obviously not math related. I don't know, let's guess 170. That seems like a reasonable number. And when we're done, we hit submit. Thanks, your response was submitted. Make sure that it's also submitted on Teams itself, that you can see that the results have been submitted. Now, before you run away, you wanna make sure you review your results. So how comfortable, there's no right or wrong answer here. But if you notice here for our second one, how many different channels there are in class teams? There's actually 5, not 3, so I got that one wrong. How many total students do I teach in my classes? The correct answer here is 187, not 150. How do I, if I make a mistake, I can delete or edit the post? In my first video, I said no, and this is to avoid people abusing the channel, posting something inappropriate, then taking it down. So we can go through all of them right there. So please make sure you take a look at that. And if you have questions about it, check the Q&A. So go back to our original team here, and you can go into the quiz questions and answers section, ask your questions, get some clarification, get help with the things that you messed up on. These are not for marks based on correctness, but completion. If you have trouble, send me an email, but first go here. Maybe your question has already been asked and answered. Thanks very much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.